Support WrestleTalk!
Give us a subscribe. One big WrestleMania match looks like it's definitely off. Another one looks like it's more probably on. And people actually cheered for Dana Brooke. I'm Ollie Davis and this is the 13th of March 2017 edition of Monday Night Raw in about 4 minutes. Down goes Goldberg is Paul Heyman's latest catchphrase, which he used several times when talking about Brock Lesnar's F5 on the Universal Champion last Monday. Despite Lesnar's impressive muscles, there was no real meat here. Just Heyman trying to advance a feud between two guys where neither wrestles anyone else on TV. Eat, sleep, conquer, repeat the same basic promo points over and over again. Stephanie McMahon then gave Mick Foley a fun task backstage. By the end of the night, he has to find someone to fire from the Raw roster. It's the McMahons' favourite family pastime. Sasha Banks' slow heel turn continues as she hooked Dana Brooks' tights for a very quick win, which babyface Bayley still cheered. Charlotte berated her protege for losing once again, but Dana finally stood up for herself. Again, actually, because she's already done that before. Tony Nese grabbed the tights for the pin in this tag match, the exact same finish we've just seen in Banks vs. Brooke. Jericho and Sami got the DQ win when Owens and Joe wouldn't stop beating down Zayn. The brief moment where Y2J and KO went at it was a fierce tease for their WrestleMania match. Jericho later announced he'll be talking to the real Kevin Owens on next week's highlight reel segment. Hopefully he does a rhyme about beating KO on a boat, just like he did in that classic SmackDown promo against Stevie Richards. Because this was the night of dirty finishes, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows caused a double DQ by attacking both sides in this #1 contenders bout. Their plan backfired though, as Mick Foley then made their WrestleMania match a 3-way title defense. Roman Reigns versus The Undertaker for WrestleMania 33 was officially made last night on Twitter, not on Raw for an actually dramatic moment. If I may be serious for a moment, the anti-Roman sentiment took an ugly dark turn in his match against Jinder Mahal, with one fan's sign reading, "Roman Reigns likes Nickelback." There's a line, and you just crossed it, my friend. Reigns still managed to hinder Jinder despite Undertaker's distracting dong. In response, Reigns called out the dead man, but instead got Shawn Michaels, just the latest WWE legend who can't make people like Roman Reigns either. Especially when the big dog repeated his "It's my yard" line and promised to retire The Undertaker. People don't like that idea, turn him heel. Braun Strowman then completely bulldozed Roman at the top of the ramp, for which Reigns did a brilliant bump to chants of "Thank you, Strowman." Former TNA World Champion Austin Aries finally made his in-ring debut on Raw, but even he couldn't get more than 4 minutes for a cruiserweight match. This should have been a squash to get AA over. Instead, it was pretty dull, with one very dangerous looking botch when Aries dropped Daivari on his head. The New Day's talk show segment with The Big Show revealed a very telling WrestleMania detail. The Giant has officially entered the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, meaning his long-reported match with Shaq appears to be off. Show took out his frustrations on Titus O'Neil, squashing him with 3 chokeslams. Nia Jax took the show's 3rd DQ loss when she refused to stop beating down Bayley. The way this storyline is going, she might be added to the Women's Championship match at WrestleMania. Oh geez, I thought. There's 20 minutes of Raw left, and Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley are in the ring. Oh god, we're gonna get a 20-minute long ring promo to close the show. To their credit, this actually turned out pretty good, if still way too long. Foley chose Stephanie as the person he was going to fire. He's finally standing up for himself. Even when Triple H came down to berate him for way too long again, out came Mr. Socko for the mandible claw. He could never overcome the game though, so Seth Rollins hobbled down to help, throwing aside his crutches and unzipping his hoodie to reveal a Kingslayer t-shirt. Rollins and Hunter brawled, with Seth taking actual bumps, but the game got the upper hand. Raw went off air with Triple H taking out Rollins' injured knee. So that was this week's Raw in about 4 minutes. Here's the usual ratings recap from top to bottom in awe, core, average, poor, and bore. This week's Raw is poor. Heyman and KO's monologue promos were repeating the same stuff from before. There was no outstanding wrestling to hook me in like last week's fantastic Neville vs Rich Swann match, and the same finishes were overused. That's what happens when you have the same people wrestling each other week after week. You have to cheat people out of proper finishes to build to the eventual pay-per-view match. Raw should be mixing their competitors up to draw out programs. See SmackDown for how this should be done. What did you all think? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to vote in the poll above my head to give it your own rating. I'll announce the results on tomorrow's WrestleTalk news. But why wasn't Rusev on the show? And when will Chris Jericho be taking his next WWE hiatus? Click the videos to the left to find out and press subscribe. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.